Hello crypto cats, my name is Tom and I'm the crypto investor, and it's time for our weekly market roundup. And we start of course with the heat map of the crypto space, and we can see it is ghastly red again. We are down 18% on the week for Ethereum, Bitcoin down 11%. Overall, most alts down around 20% or so. Cardano, one of the ones faring better, holding at $1.20, down just 11%. Some positive news potentially coming out of Africa there, but overall it is not looking too tasty out there. And this hasn't been a week of particularly bad news. A few points of note. So we had this interesting exchange on Twitter. Jack Dorsey, who is the owner of Twitter itself and Square, so he is promoting this new conference, the B Word, which is basically looking at helping institutions to embrace Bitcoin. Elon, comical as ever, commented by curious, and Jack said bizarre. Let's you and I have a conversation at the event. You can share all your curiosities. And Elon said, LMFA, OMG. And then Jack said, let's have that chat for the bit curious. Very well then, let's do it. And Jack says, done. We'll set it up. Kathy Wood from ARK Investments has replied saying, brilliant, look forward to the discussion. So, it has a legitimacy to it now, and this could be really quite pivotal for Bitcoin. It could help to change the narrative, which has been somewhat negative of late. And so we need to keep our eye on this event. This is happening on the 21st, here we go, 21st of July, so about 25 days from now. The B Word. It is, as you can see, sponsored by ARK Invest. So it does lead me to believe that maybe this, this whole little conversation here was contrived, and this was, a way of kind of squeezing Elon to be involved in this. Who knows? But either way, it's happening. Hopefully, good Elon will turn up and be positive for the market. I feel like he owes the market this, and he probably will do his best. At the end of the day, he is a significant holder, and he does believe in the technology long term. So yeah, we will see. I'm somewhat optimistic. Another cool thing this week is the El Salvadorian Prime Minister announced that they are providing an airdrop of Bitcoin effectively. Of course, El Salvador is adopting Bitcoin. They're providing wallets for every one of their adult citizens, and each one will receive $30 worth of Bitcoin, which is a substantial amount of money for many El Salvadorans, and will really help with the adoption. They have the option to, convert that into dollars and to withdraw it, or they can spend it on groceries or bills or whatever they choose. But yeah, really cool development, and it's going to be great to see how this all plays out. Another cool thing happening this week is the launch of the testnet of Ethereum. So of EIP 1559, which means that we will now start to see deflationary Ethereum. And it begins with the first burn of Ethereum. 88,000 Ethereum have been burnt. Basically, that's $177 million worth of Ethereum. And this is something we are going to hopefully start to see representing itself in the price. It's about time. But, this is coming from next month, 4th, Bitcoin, Ethereum will have built-in burning and effectively be deflationary. So, this is a big deal. You can go to watchtheburn.com and see this happening in real time. Here you go, 88,000 Ethereum burnt. All right, let's jump into the charts. So let's start with Bitcoin on the weekly, and you can see that, we have this pretty nasty red candle that has come down. We had the lowest low we have experienced really since back in January, and if we close down here this weekend, it's going to be the lowest close since January. It's going to be hard for Bitcoin to really push up over the weekend, so expecting that to happen. Let's just drill down onto a smaller time frame and get a better look. We remain really in this wedge pattern that we were discussing in the last video, and whilst Bitcoin is contained in here, it's actually fairly non-volatile as an asset, would you believe? If this could kindly load. So you can see that we came down. Give me one sec. Yeah, we came down on that initial drop. We found support here at the 30,000 level, bounced back and forth. We have continued to hit our head on this overhead resistance here. We broke out only for that to be a false breakout, came back down and continue to be finding support here. So really, it's just going to be a case of which is going to give up first. Will it be the support at 30,000 or the resistance that's coming in here? Now, in technical analysis, horizontal resistance, such as this at 30,000, is generally considered to be more substantial, more significant than diagonal. And so, that's one thing which we consider. But you also have to think of, every time we've come and visited this, how many buyers have had effectively their allocation of purchase. How many more people are there to be adding their positions into Bitcoin? Are we kind of exhausting their dry powder, or will this continue? So we're getting a bounce now. Expect us to find resistance here. And, I think we probably only have about another week, maybe 10 days until Bitcoin will have to make its mind up. Will it break here, or will it break down lower than 30? And, it really is a coin toss. Of course, I have that optimistic sentiment. I do believe we break back above here, but it really is a coin toss. And if we do break below here, I do think there's a good chance that we will move very quickly to 24,000 and 20,000. There's not really much support to be had there, and should that happen, I would like to think that we will get a V-shaped recovery back up to the 30,000. I do not envisage us hanging down there long. I feel that the buyers will be coming back in fairly aggressively. So Ethereum has had even worse a time than Bitcoin. If we look at the ratio, in fact, bring the ratio up. You can see that we initially peaked when we hit the 50% of Bitcoin's market cap. In fact, let's just take a quick look at the ratio. So we hit 50%, and now we're back down to Ethereum representing 35% of the market cap of Bitcoin. And we have bounced back and forth. So this is that 50% market cap up here. And we're currently finding support where we did previously at 0.055. I would see that as fairly light support. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to lose ground versus Bitcoin a bit further. But then we come to this major trend line, which if you were following this kind of widening channel, that this goes back for 600 days, that Ethereum failed to get above this kind of widening channel, and this was that limit of it. And then when we broke there, that's when we got this absolutely parabolic move. And it feels like maybe we're coming back down for a retest of this. And if we do make contact here, I really would be very confident in this holding. And that, for me, represents an amazing opportunity to switch a bit of Bitcoin into Ethereum. So I will be doing that if we get here. And then I expect us to come back up. Maybe we meet this downward trend line. Maybe this happens. Maybe we have a bit of a wedge in here. And I do think we take out the 50%. In due course, but that's still some way off. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just get out of this challenging situation right now. Looking at Ethereum on the charts, it's been pretty nasty, and we were in a channel, an upward channel, that has since now broken. There we go. We've lost that channel. We've lost the 2000. We're coming back to some light support where we found a bounce on the big drop on the 23rd of May, but nothing about 1714 says substantial support. It's not a psychological line in the sand that you might find at 1500. So it's a dangerous time to lean in. But Ethereum's starting to look cheap for me. I'm personally just buying spot Ethereum, buying bits and pieces, adding to my stack in Ethereum. I would love, I'm very much bullish on the likes of DeFi, but for me, it's a little risky whilst we're in this fragile state in the market. So Ethereum is where I am making my spot purchases right now. Before I move on to DeFi, I just wanted to talk about Bitcoin shorts. So we saw this huge amounts of shorts building up in the market back in early June, and that as Ethereum broke out, as Bitcoin broke out above 35,000, those were closed or liquidated. But yesterday we had this absolutely huge, I believe it was 1,000% increase in the number of shorts placed on Bitcoin. Here we go, 1,200% increase in the number of shorts placed on Bitcoin. Now that's come back a bit, but what was interesting was that this was basically just one big move. It felt like it was not retail. This seemed to be institutional or even government. It felt manipulative. So I'm wearing my conspiracy hat a little bit here, but this didn't sit very easy with me. It's coming back now a bit. We will see, but strange to see such huge amounts of shorts being placed on Bitcoin in such a short amount of time. I mean, it could be a big institution playing it, who knows? But those shorts, coming down a bit now, which at least is good. It would be nice for us to smash past 35 and squeeze them out, though, wouldn't it? All right, looking at Bitcoin's dominance, it's just overall, drifting up a little bit. We found resistance at the same place, that 48% area, still holding below the 50% market cap, but sitting at the higher end of that space. As the market looks to get a bit healthier, as confidence come back into the market, then people will be more inclined to buy into alts, and we'll see the Bitcoin dominance come back down again, perhaps test this 43% or so area. But the fact that we haven't rocketed back up to 60, 70, 80% gives me again a bit of solace that this is not a bear market. And by the way, I don't feel that we are entering into some kind of 3-year bear market by any stretch of the imagination. I still feel that we are upon a 3 to 6 month period of consolidation, maybe a dip down, but I think that gets bought up, and I still think we end the year higher than where we're at right now. I don't think for a second we're going up to the 200,000s at the end of this year, but I do expect us to to really regain that strength. And I think something to also make note of is just how much money is coming in from venture capitalists right now. In 2017, when we saw that big, the Cambrian explosion of ICOs and the bubble kind of burst, there wasn't all this money on the sidelines from institutions and from venture capitalists. There is now. There's so much money sloshing around in the system, and so this is really a backstop to the market that we didn't have in 2017. So I don't think for a second that we see some kind of capitulation and 3 year of crypto winter like we did that time in 2017. For those of you who are around. All right, just quickly looking at DeFi. So DeFi hasn't been pretty. We continued to where we had found support previously at 0.13 has broken. We've drifted down. We're now down at 0.12. And as I said, I'm kind of just on the sidelines with DeFi until we see strength in the broader market. I'm not going to be allocating because this could come back down further. So for me, buying Ethereum, of course, has exposure to DeFi all the same. And then as and when we see that strength returning to the market, I will be moving a lot of my Ethereum into the DeFi space to pick up greater gains. All right, I think that is it for now. I hope you found that useful. If you did get any use out of it, please do like and subscribe. Please do share it with your mates. Thanks for being here at the end, and thanks for being here during this kind of more bearish time in the market when most of the fickle retail investors have gone off to new pastures. So thanks for hanging around. And I am just a guy on the internet. This is not financial advice, and I will speak to you soon. All the best.